Everybody wants to be more productive, and for various reasons. For me, I want to be more productive so I can make more money. It's kind of all I think about. In fact, I have a difficult time thinking about anything else. And there's two ways to make money. One is with your body, doing labor, like when I used to work construction or when I used to work for moving companies. But the way to make the most money is with your brain, is with your mind, creating products or services, businesses that people will exchange currency for. Now, if you go on YouTube, you're gonna see thousands and thousands of videos on how to be more productive, talking about apps or different strategies that are outside of yourselves to be more productive. But people don't talk about the biological aspects of productivity, how you can optimize your brain to be more productive. Your brain is only 5% of your body's mass, but it uses 20% of your body's energy at rest. Or when you're using your mind really hard to work, it's gonna burn significantly more energy. For example, chess players can burn up to 6,000 calories in a full day chess tournament. Let's put that in perspective. The average person only burns 100 calories when they run a mile. So to burn 6,000 calories, you'd have to run 60 miles. That's like 2.5 marathons. But a chess player is doing that sitting still, just thinking about his next move, just moving his fingers. That's how demanding thinking is on your body's resources, on your energy. So it only makes sense if you're trying to optimize your productivity and make the most money using your brain to optimize your brain. And the best way I found to do that is with diet, more specifically, the ketogenic diet.
Something I've always wondered, and I've considered keto. Now, obviously I wouldn't do it chronically, but I've considered cyclical keto more so for the cognitive flexibility and kind of I don't know, sharpness you get from it, which, seems to be unmatched in terms of ability to just dial in and be super sharp on something.
A lot of people think that the only reason to do keto is to lose weight or to get in shape or for body composition reasons. But that's not why I do keto at all. I've been doing it for years straight. And I do it because it makes me more productive, which allows me to get more money while staying in good shape at the same time. I truly believe that, my diet allows me to be more productive. And that's why I have significantly more money than almost all of you watching. Seriously, statistically, the average American has less than $1,000 in their bank account and makes $50,000 a year. If I was hitting any of those numbers, I'd jump off the fucking roof, bro. I couldn't live with myself. To me, that sounds like a nightmare. To you, that sounds like life. Now, how do you get out of that? And you gotta be more productive. You gotta use your mind. And I use the ketogenic diet for that purpose. Let me explain how it works. When I first got into business, I wanted to be more productive. And I would notice that after a meal, I would be less productive. Have you ever had that experience where you eat lunch and you're kind of sluggish, maybe some brain fog or fatigue? What is the reason for that? It's dietary. So that was the main reason I started doing intermittent fasting years ago. I did intermittent fasting for about 5 years consecutively, where I would have a 16-hour fast during the day and an 8-hour feeding window. And during the fast, I was so much more productive. I got so much more done. The problem was, as soon as I broke the fast at around 3 o'clock, productivity came to a screeching halt. So I was in a position where I felt like I had to get all my work done before 3 because I wasn't gonna get much done after. Now, that did increase my productivity and my money. So I had every intention of just sticking to that until I went to the doctor for a checkup. And the doctor said that my cholesterol was pretty high. It's a genetic predisposition. A lot of people in my family have high cholesterol. And most of them are on some sort of statin drug to lower their cholesterols. And the doctor prescribed that for me. And I didn't want to do it because I understand the side effects that are associated with these drugs. I had been studying the ketogenic diet because I've been a trained nutritionist since most of you motherfuckers was in diapers and shit. And I came across a lot of studies that showed that the ketogenic diet, contrary to popular belief, actually lowers cholesterol in a lot of people. So I decided to try that as opposed to those drugs. I thought, hey, maybe I can solve this problem naturally instead of a pharmaceutical intervention. So I started doing keto, and after 1 month of the ketogenic diet, my cholesterol dropped over 100 points. But here's the most important part. I also saw a bunch of other amazing benefits from keto. Also, people say that I look younger now. I'm about to turn 40, and I look significantly better than you. I had less water weight in my body, so I immediately started to look more ripped. You know, this is why bodybuilders, fitness competitors, they always cut carbs before a show so they look more ripped. I started to have that all the time. But most importantly, that same productivity and energy that I felt during my fast, I started to feel that all day. And that was the thing that made me want to stick with the ketogenic diet. It wasn't to be in great shape. I've always been in incredible shape. It was to be more productive so I can get more money.
For me, I get super tired when I have fruit plus yogurt or just fruit on its own, to be honest.
So well, there's a couple of things. First of all, insulin causes that major effect. That insulin moves things out of your bloodstream that are being used for your brain.
When you're eating carbohydrates, your body converts those carbohydrates into something called glucose or glycogen. And glycogen is the fuel that your body and your brain runs off of when you're eating the standard American diet. When your blood glucose levels go above around 110, your pancreas will secrete a hormone called insulin. And insulin's job is to lower your glucose levels. That food coma that follows meals is because of your glucose levels rising and falling all day. And when that happens, you're just not going to be as productive, and you're not going to have as much energy, and you're not going to be as sharp mentally. Now, at first, fasting solved that problem, at least during the fast. But when I started doing keto, my glucose levels started to stay stable throughout the day, and I was just as productive as when I was fasting without having to fast. And it lasted all day. It wasn't until I broke my fast. It was just baseline how I started to feel. As a result, I started to be way more productive. And I believe that's why over the last few years I made so much more money. My net worth has risen so much exponentially because I've been able to be more productive all day, every day. I don't do keto to look good, even though it does help me look good. You can get in great shape with any diet. It doesn't matter. I do keto because it helps with my productivity, which aids in the acquisition of capital, financial resources, getting money, shitting on the haters, and stunting on the hoes. How does it work? When you're on a ketogenic diet, your carbohydrates are so low that there's not a lot of glucose in your body, and your glucose levels stay more stable. So you don't get these wild spikes in glucose, which in turn don't give you these wild spikes in insulin. In the absence of glucose, your liver will produce something called ketones. And these ketones will be the new fuel that your body, and more importantly, your brain will run off of. Your liver does this by converting fat into ketones. So now your body is running off of fat as opposed to glucose. And the beauty of that is, first of all, you don't get these spikes in insulin, which leads to fatigue. And your energy levels are more stable because you're never going to run out of fat, either fat in your body or fat that you digest. For example, I wore a continuous glucose monitor on my arm for over the last month to measure my glucose levels. And I used an app called Levels to track it. And every day, my glucose levels were so stable that the app actually thought that I was fasting every day.
Mental clarity and whatnot. Do you think that's a result of your glucose control and insulin sensitivity more so than anything?
I think so. And you can see this on things like continuous glucose monitors, which I do a lot.
And this is with high protein. See, a lot of people will say that if your protein is too high, then your body will convert that protein into glucose, which is called gluconeogenesis. And it will take you out of ketosis and you won't get the benefits of the ketogenic diet. That has not been the case for me. And I've tracked it. I've actually tracked it. So it's one thing to say it, and it's another thing to do it. Everything is hypothetical until you apply it to your own life. I track my macros meticulously every day, and I get about 200 grams of protein per day because I weigh about 200 pounds with MyFitnessPal. And one of the ways I track it is I keep a digital food scale with me everywhere I go. I know it's extreme, but I've been doing that for years, even before I was on keto, just because I wanted to be in the best shape as possible. And back even before I started TRT, which I started a year ago, I have a video on it, people were accusing me of being on drugs because I stayed in great shape and ripped year round. Well, that's because I'm carrying this food scale with me, dumbass. You ain't never did that. You didn't do that for 10 years. Fuck it, longer than 10 years. I've been tracking my diet meticulously for 20 years, every day, right? If you do that, yeah, you'll stay in great shape all year round too, dumbass. Motherfuckers who take drugs can't even do that shit, right? It's not the drugs, it's the scale. You know what I would look like if I was on roids this whole time? God damn it. I digress. I know some of y'all aren't gonna believe that no matter what, whatever. Fuck you. I track it all in MyFitnessPal, and a lot of people think or say that it's too extreme or it's too much or they don't want to do it, blah, 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 a bunch of shit. But for me, it's fun, right? Being the best I can be is fun. I don't know what it's like to not try to be the best I can be. I don't know what that's like. It's actually fun for me. You know, I treat MyFitnessPal like a game. Like you motherfuckers are playing World of Minecraft or some shit. And I'm playing MyFitnessPal. I'm trying to hit these numbers throughout the day. So, I play the game of life, motherfucker. Right? I play MyFitnessPal and I play my bank account. Right? Those are the numbers I'm trying to increase every day. That's the game I play. Anyway, I track my macros in that every day to make sure I hit these numbers, right? Because if you're not tracking, you're slacking. And I'm just be honest with you. These things have really helped me be significantly more productive, make significantly more money. I'm able to hire more people. I have like 30 employees now, and I'm able to help them support their families. Our customers are happy, they're doing really well, and it's a net positive, but it all starts with me. I believe that it's my responsibility to be the best I can be, because so many people's livelihood actually depends on my performance. And if I'm out here being all tired and shit like you, then there's no way I'm gonna be able to rise to that challenge. But at the end of the day, that's one aspect of being more productive, right? Your actual nutrition, right? Treating your body and your brain as if you're a mental athlete. Nutrition is probably the biggest lever you can pull in regards to your productivity. Everybody wants some app or some hack or some trick. Get your diet right to actually optimize your brain's performance. Now, there's also sleep as well. Sleep is important, getting enough rest. That's why I track my sleep every night with an Oura ring. I used to have a Whoop band, but it looked kind of geeky, kind of nerdy. It didn't really go with all of these Cartier diamond bracelets and AP watches and Rolexes I wear. It didn't really fit, right? But the Oura ring, it blends in seamlessly, and I'm able to track my sleep, and I try to optimize that as well. And I know a lot of people are thinking that there's a lot of people who make a lot more money than me and they eat carbs. That's true. I'm just talking about what works for me. I want you to do whatever works for you. Just take the dietary part of productivity into account, the biological part into account, because everybody's talking about everything else, but nobody talks about the biology of it. Because I really think that that's the biggest lever you can pull. If you want to learn more about the ketogenic diet, I have some old videos about it on my channel. Again, I post videos every week or so on YouTube. Like the video, subscribe, turn on the bell notifications, all that jazz, and follow me on Instagram. That's where I'm most active. I'm posting on my story all the time. I post there every day, and I answer DMs, most of them. Okay, some of them. Okay, I don't answer most of them, but that's the best way, the best opportunity you had to get in touch with me. All right, I'll holla at y'all. Peace.